Morning all. I don't know if you can hear me. Here's some information. Press pause for more. This is Fosdyke Bridge. It's right next to the I don't know, is that 19? Something like that. Very busy Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Is it 9? Hang on. No, tell a lie, 10 o'clock. It's taking an hour to cycle here, so yeah. This is where I got to last time. This is day 2 of week 4 of 2024. It's Monday the 22nd of September, and I'm going to go somewhere a bit more quiet. I'm going to make a start, cross this bridge and then basically hang a right, and then I'll talk to you some more. It's very noisy here. Ah, that's better. It's just mad. It's busy. Zoom. It's the A17, not the A19. I had a quick look. Can't remember where that goes. I'm pretty sure I've seen that all the way down to like South Norfolk. Gets to Norwich, I think, maybe, and then eventually down to London. Does it join the A13 or 12? I don't know. Not strictly relevant for me for today, to be honest. So, yes, this is the River Welland, which is looking rather more high tide than yesterday. Actually, it's quite pretty and attractive with a nice high tide and a blue sky to reflect off it. Anyway, we came all the way down that side last time at the end of quite a long day. Actually, it was 18 miles, I think, from Sutton Bridge over yonder. So this is Fosdyke Bridge. I mean, today is essentially river nonsense day. We're going up the Yelland to where it joins the well, it pretty much touches the Wash, and then immediately curving back round and up another river to Boston. That other river's called the Haven. I didn't think rivers got the with, but yeah. So essentially following a big old boomerang shape around another lump of hugely flat agricultural land, which I have just cycled through, and it's quite pretty, quite pleasant. A lot of cabbages. I mean, if you like sort of kale, then this is the place to be. I don't think anyone likes kale. It's not a thing people like, it's a thing people bulk other things up with. I think people endure kale for health benefits, smoothies and such. But yeah, you've got to boil it for ages, and then even then it's just like a bitter, tough cabbage. So I think it might be, a lot of this might be for animal feed, I don't know. Don't imagine cattle and sheep that are as fussy as I am. So yes, going all the way around to Boston today, where I've parked the car. And yeah, I'm going to take an extra special detour to look at the cathedral, because it does, seeing it coming past, it looks very Lord of the Rings. I love it. And anyway, it's going to be a short day, 12 miles all in, I think, on the foot bit. So I'll have both time and mileage in my feet to spare, I suspect. So we'll do that. But first, up to the well, just along the river, really. Again, it's going to be much more of this today, and to be honest, for much of the week, really. It doesn't significantly differ from this kind of floodbank terrain until quite near Skegness. Even then, not vastly. There's a bit of seafront, some hills and dunes, I think, up there. But that's all good, though. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for indulging my narcissistic whims. Right. Oh, interesting fact. Yes, I was doing a bit of post-mortem pinging about with Google Maps there last night in the hotel room. Do you know, we right here are in the Western Hemisphere. Fosdyke Bridge has a latitude, or is it a longitude? Hang on, longitudes is that way, isn't it? Latitudes is that way, I think. So yes, longitude 0 is over there somewhere, not that far. Sutton Bridge certainly was very much in the Eastern Hemisphere, and I think coming back down that river on the far side, I mean, I was a bit tired and keen for it all to be over for the day, but those trees, I think, more or less mark the 0 line, the Greenwich meridian, the prime meridian, 0 degrees latitude, no, longitude. God, it's like, why do they call them latitude and longitude? Is that like some sort of derived from Latin? Why don't they call it uppy and downy and sidey? That would be much more easily work-outable. Anyway, 0 degrees sidey is cuts sort of more or less diagonally across and through those trees, then across the river and then up. So within the next sort of hour or two, we'll be back in the Eastern Hemisphere. So yeah, enjoy the Western Hemisphere briefly. And I was looking at the map and the general terrain and everything, and even Boston still is in the Eastern Hemisphere, I think. And basically we won't cross back into the Western Hemisphere again until Grimsby, which I think is next year, next spring, probably May. I imagine we'll be hitting Grimsby next year's trekking. Yeah, I mean, I've crossed it a couple of times. The first time on this grand endeavour was down on the sea cliffs near Worthing and Eastbourne, somewhere around there. There was that little plaque, there's like a sort of statue marble thing that marks the point. Then of course we looped back round up the Thames when I was going back to Westminster and then out again, so we crossed it twice there, one at the Royal Military College and Royal Naval College at Greenwich. Very very apt, very high profile that. I think it cuts right through the college itself, the actual line, halfway through. That's where that pub with the amazing flower basket displays, the Old Trafalgar or something, I can't remember what it's called. And then yeah, crossed again on the north side. That was a bit more brutalist, just a gentrified flat block housing estate sort of thing there. But you could see the line in the ground. They had like a big bronze thing that you could see on the floor. And then yeah, everything since, up until those woods over there yesterday, has been in the Eastern Hemisphere. Now I can't remember if that's plus sidey or minus sidey. So I actually saw it last night. I was looking up coordinates and stuff, but I'd forgotten already. So there we go. That's advancing gears for you, I suppose. But yes, is it plus latitude? Which way round does it go? I'd have to look it up. But anyway, this is definitely the Eastern Hemisphere. We're in the Western Hemisphere at the moment, briefly. So, and yeah, in a couple of hours we'll leave it again, and that'll be that. Like I say, I mean, we're going to loop back round to the left, but even then I don't think Boston is actually crosses the meridian again. I'll have to check. Or maybe it does. I'm not a very reliable source of facts, you know. Do have a tendency to make stuff up rather than appear ignorant, you know. Oh, lots of people in high vis out in the cabbage field there. I think we're doing a bit of harvest. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that as we were as I was cycling along, coming down through all of there. Lots of tractors and trailers on the roads, very slow, very irritating for most people, I suppose. I mean, this was morning rush hour, lots of cars behind me who were desperately trying to get to work on time, but I'm on holiday. And really my only real deadline for today is I don't want to be hiking after dark, which is about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I've only got 12 miles to do and it's only 10 o'clock, so I think probably we're looking at a 3 or 4 finish today. Yeah, I got done 5:30 I think yesterday, so that was all right. And that was a long day. So yeah, I think I'm going to be in Boston by about 3 probably today, which will give us plenty of time to go and poke about at the cathedral, which, as I say, is not strictly on the England Coast Path, but probably worth a little detour. I don't normally do big little detours much on these trips, much to the consternation of a viewer who likes to see places and things. I don't really do that. I do this. Here it is. It's my job. But yes, it's harvest time, I guess. I mean, that's that down there. It looks like cabbages, some sort. Could be kale. They've got like tractor with this weird sort of bucket scoop arrangement on the front, which looks like it's designed to, I don't know, does it physically lift them, or do people have to pull them out of the ground and load them onto it? And then a big old trailer in the back that's got little crates of boxes and things in. Very often that tractor will take the trailer off to the local barn. It all gets palleted up and loaded on trucks. And there's actually quite a few, you know, as I was driving up and around the place, I've been seeing signs to quite a few refrigerated distribution facilities around the place. So these cabbages and stuff aren't going far before they get put on an actual refrigerated truck. I think the Prince's place over in there was one of them, and I've seen a few others as well. Great big factories in the middle of these plains, which makes sense, you know. They've got all the logistics sorted. It's a precisely engineered machine, I think, this landscape, despite its superficial whimsy. It is a very large open plan factory for producing nutrition for human beings. God, I'm such a romantic. Anyway, yeah, so yes, lots of mud on the roads, lots of tractors I've been trying to swerve out the way of with the bike. Tractors go slow, but a little bit faster than I like to cycle. But then as I'm driving about, big tailbacks. Like I say, it's the Lincolnshire roads and the landscape. It's It seems to be a county of very long, very flat, very straight roads upon which one could do an immense amount of miles per hour. And pretty much all of them have got like 40 or 50 in speed cameras everywhere, which leads to a very frustrated kind of minority of driver in these parts, typically in Audis and BMWs, and they just cannot let an overtake go, you know. So I just try and, you know, hug the verge, slow down a little bit, let them get on with it, you know. I am not in that much of a hurry in any aspect of my life, really. So let's crack on with today then. This is basically just 12 miles of this. Nice sunny day. So it's about 9 degrees. It was 9 degrees when I set off, single digits. Winter is coming and all that, autumn. It's okay. I got the merino underlayer on, which helps. You can see the sleeves there, so that's good for this kind of climate. But I do warm up enough once I get moving. I had the gloves on with the bike, but quickly found out to take those off because I was only radiating heat through my hands, so, and face. No, not much wind today, which is good, and also even less clouds than yesterday. Yesterday it tried to splatter on me a little bit, but it rained really heavily last night. Car was soaked, ground was wet everywhere. But I don't really care what happens when I'm in a hotel, you know. And obviously the rain's good for the crops, so I don't begrudge it. But yeah, in for a good day today. It's cool rather than cold. I think it'll warm to about 14 or 15 at high points mid-afternoon, which is perfect for me. I don't really like it when it's very hot. As we've seen, I mean, there was a flipping heat wave when I was down at the sort of Great Yarmouth sort of area earlier in the year. It was like 28, 29 degrees. I don't know if it hit 30, but that was quite challenging. But here I am still. I don't mind doing 30s and 31s. You have to take it easy, make sure you've got lots of water, shed the layers, but you know, the hat and the suntan stuff and steady pace, regular rest stops. It's not so bad, you can do it. It's not something I'd do for choice though. If I could, you know, just choose the temperature before I go out, it would be probably something like this. Nice coolness. Just keeps me moving along. It's best for comfort. I mean, I've done colder. I've done day trips just over, sort of around the southern Essex end. When I was still just about able to do day trips, I was doing it through the winter, and been out on some days where it's been basically freezing, 1 or 2 degrees. You have to put the extra layers on, but it's doable. Yes. Right. Anyway, rambling now, clearly, and rambling. Let's walk for a bit. See what we see today. How are we doing? Just come up on 11 and going for an hour. I think. Sure, it's around 10, yeah. And the pump station. These are all over the place in this part of the world. Cameras on each corner. Alarm. Radio antenna. There's a little owl box on the side there. Someone's had a pop at that window. You don't normally see them with windows, to be honest. Just enigmatic brick rectangles, but someone's had a pop at that window with an air rifle 4 times. I mean, that would be an excellent pitch if I was still doing the camping thing. You could use the building as cover, probably. They almost always have quite well maintained short level grass around them, these structures. I'm sure as long as you don't actually damage anything, I don't think anyone would mind putting a tent here overnight. Although there are cameras staring at us. Actually, it's pointing the other way, I think. But yeah. So I'm still getting very confused about this whole latitude longitude thing again. I think we're still in the Western Hemisphere. We haven't actually crossed back over yet. I think up ahead somewhere it is. And I was wrong about Boston. I think Boston is the Western Hemisphere. We cross again on the way up and down the Haven into Boston. I don't think. Maybe it shouldn't matter so much. Oh, I worked out the pluses and I looked at the pluses and minuses. So this is negative longitude. This is negative sidey. And over the other side of the river there is plus sidey, which is confusing. But the Western Hemisphere is negative sidey. I've came up with a mnemonic as well to help. So you take the word longitude and you write it down. And so on the left-hand side is an L, and the L looks like an upward pointing arrow. And on the right-hand side is an E, and the E stands for electron, which is a unit of negative electrical charge. And so you take those and you reverse them. That's the way. So the one on the right is plus and the one on the left is minus. And I think that makes perfect sense and will help me remember in future. But yes, I think we cross again somewhere up here, just at the end of this second field, I think. I was stabbing Google and trying to get that long pin numbers out of it. Not quite sure why I'm obsessing so much about it, because I mean, look at this landscape. There's nothing here to indicate you are on one half of the globe, geographically speaking, or the other. It's entirely an artificial man-made construct. The landscape doesn't care. And it's the only way you'd know really is if someone put a monument at the various points on these particular trails, but no one did on the other side, and no one's going to do it on this side either, I shouldn't think. I mean, looking at the coast in general up to Berwick, it crosses the zero line a couple of times around Hull and the Humber, and before it settles into a distinct leftward leaning slump, distinct westward leaning. Most of the country leans west. I think there's probably some sort of satire or allegory or something you could make from that. But I'm just rambling on. Ultimately, the land doesn't care, my feet don't care. Just an interesting point of interest, I suppose. Right, so can we see the cathedral from here? Should be in that direction, but I think there might be trees in the way. Oh no, yeah, you can. Anyhow, hang on, let's come back in zoom mode. Alright, let's try some steady work into the wind. 20 times zoom. There it is. So that is the cathedral tower at Boston, at the centre of Boston Cathedral. It's about 10 to 12 miles away as the crow flies. It is that big. You shall see when we get there. That's where basically we're aiming at. So, I mean, the car park's sort of that direction somewhat, but don't mind doing a few blocks of city centre streets just to cross over and have a look. And it's got a very... one would almost say it was the inspiration for Tolkien's Barad-dûr, the Dark Tower. It has a very similar sort of crenellation structure, only obviously no flaming eye on the top, and not made of black stone. But yeah, oh well, we'll see more of that later today, I'm sure. But I've got to get there first. Onward. Long straight bit, not much going on. It's like 11:15. I've seen this. King Charles III Coast Path, yeah, good. What, Boston 5 miles from here? That seems much less than I was expecting at this point. I would have thought we got at least 8 or 9 from here. Unless that's the outskirts and I'm measuring to the centre where the bridge is. Blimey. I mean, it's 11:15 now. I was kind of thinking of a 3 o'clock finish, more or less, but 5 miles, I could do that in 2 hours. It'll be a 1 o'clock finish? No. I can't have mismeasured it that badly. Maybe I have. Wow, might be a very short day today then. I don't really want to restage all the onward stuff because my car's in a place and my bike's in a place and all that sort of thing. So if it is just 5 miles, I guess I'd stop early. We'll go and look at the cathedral certainly, but I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't say 5 miles on the England Coast Path fingerboard if that 5 miles was go along the coast path a little bit and then take a massive shortcut off the coast path, surely. Surely that's 5 miles along the coast path. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, it's a couple of miles up and down and through Boston, so perhaps it's a very short day today then. I mean, I measured it as 12 previously, but maybe my measurements weren't the right route. I measured too far. That seems to me like 5 miles to the edge of Boston, you know. I think there's probably about a mile of mucking about in side streets and things to do as well. I mean, I cycled through some of that on the way here, so I don't know. Oh well, head down, trudge on. See where we end up. Might be a very short day today. Another quirky bit of civil engineering. You know, I don't think I've ever walked past one of these, and I've walked past quite a few, that has been actually running, you know, actually pumping something, making noise, chug, 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 etc. And I suppose I wouldn't be out walking on a day like that, because that implies very heavy rain and flooding. And this all looks quite calm. Goes out to here, I suppose, and out to the sea. I miss the sea. I haven't seen it since, well, I don't know, just south of Hunstanton, I suppose. As the proper sea, it's all been like salt marsh, pretty much the whole south side of the wash. Quite extensive. I can't even see the sea from here. I think I can just make out a line of grey, perhaps. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see the sea until at least, you know, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, I suppose. Once we're past Wrangle, and I mean, I can tell you now from personal experience, Skegness does have a proper seafront, so we'll definitely see the sea when we get to Skegness, but I don't think we're going to see it much before then, because it's mostly just this. Huge, huge salt marshes. Unusable for pretty much anything except wild birds. Oh, a signboard. Is there some information on the other side? I do like information. I collect it. I don't read it. Just photograph it. No. Absolutely no information whatsoever. Love it. That's good. What about this? Private property. Okay, that's probably talking about down there, but should I shut that? I probably feel like I should. Nobody on a quad bike up there, is there? Well, they can open it again. It's fine. I don't know what the highway code says about gates that are already open. I mean, if it was tied open, then yeah. Oh, I see. Can't actually close it. Oh, I see. No, there's a chain and a padlock that's padlocked the other way. Okay, I guess there's some farm person, some custodian of the landscape somewhere up here to keep an eye out. They can always pull it open again. I haven't locked it. It's fine. Ooh, so it's yeah, about 11:30. I should probably stop and have a bit of a drink. Maybe some nuts. Let's say I didn't really bring vast provisions for today, because even I thought it was only 12 miles. But yeah, that's bugging me, that sign. 5 miles. Done half a mile since then. Can only imagine. Well, either I just massively mismeasured with the string on the Google Maps string, or and I do that sometimes, but usually I go the other way. I'll go, oh, that's only 12 miles, that's easy, and you know, like 19 miles later, when's it over? But I very rarely come in over by quite so much, you know. Usually I cut corners and things because the string's not a exact mapping tool. And obviously the seawall curves around, so maybe we're onto the haven already. I'll have to check. In which case, yeah, Boston is probably just up there. I mean, yeah, I can still see the cathedral in the distance, so I don't know, yeah. Maybe I have drastically mismeasured this one. Which is annoying, because I would have staged the following days a bit more ambitiously otherwise. I mean, so I thought it was 12 today, this is Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday is 15 each, with a sort of inland cut to get to the nearest village, and then Thursday's my last day and my drive home day, but I still have another 15 to do in the morning as well. That's Mablethorpe to finish. Skegness to Mablethorpe. Don't know what I'm going to do about that one yet. Might try and contrive that one so I can use a bus, because I've seen plenty of local buses around that side. I mean, this section, these last 2 days, has been more or less impossible to do by bus. And the same with the next ones. But from Skegness to Mablethorpe, regular buses all the time, so I may try and contrive to not need to cycle that day, just so that I'm a bit sharper for the drive home at the end of the day. I don't know, because that's still a 4-hour drive from Mablethorpe to where I live. So, and I'm starting to think probably going north from here into next year up to Grimsby and beyond. I think I'm probably going to have to start doing 6 nights in the B&B and have a dedicated travel day home as well. You know, because it's starting to get long. I mean, I'll probably end up getting home by about sort of 9, 10 or 11 at night, which is fine. You know, I've got a day off on Friday, but it may be that in future I'll have to just use the Friday as an actual holiday day as well. Well, a day, you know, out on the trip. Something to think about for the future. But yeah, so if today turns out to only be like 7 miles or something, then I guess I'll just take the easy win and enjoy my half day puttering around at Skegness seafront or something. Get back to the hotel for 4 or something, I don't know. I'll take it. It's annoying though, because yeah, like I say, I would have staged it more ambitiously, got a little bit further by the end of the week. Never mind. Not the end of the world. Nothing wrong with an easy day now and then. Don't know, yeah, I'm wondering, I mean, it's entirely possible that sign is just wrong, you know. In which case my original plan stands. It still would be an easy day anyway. It's still only 12 miles today, so even with if my measurements are correct, so who knows. Not worth getting worried about. Just enjoy the zen-like salt marsh contemplation. Still at it. I've been looking at bus timetables between Mablethorpe and Skegness, and they seem a bit patchy, to be honest. There are buses, but 1 or 2 a day, and if I miss it, everything goes wrong. So I think I'll probably just cycle like every other day, you know, for the last one. It's fine. Actually, cycling looks to be quicker than all the bus routes as well. They tend to go inland and sort of meander around villages and things, and they're marginally quicker expected on a bike going straight there. So no, not actually any extra. So it's not significantly extra physical hassle either. I find that it's different muscles. So you know, the biking, doing a 17-mile bike ride doesn't seem to make much of an impact on a 17-mile walk straight after. So there it is. All good exercise anyway. So I was ruminating on Lincolnshire and how less interesting it is than other counties. And I remember reading, so regular readers will know that I'm a huge fan of coastalwalker.co.uk, Dr. Ruth Livingston, who basically photos and blogs her attempt at this, which is going much better than mine. She is including Scotland and Wales. She's doing the whole sort of, you know, the whole outline. She started over a decade ago, well before I was even starting on out from Minehead. And I just checked, yep, she's still at it. Entry 541 was posted on the 10th of September, which is about 10 days ago, 12 days ago. And she's somewhere, I can't forget the names, but she's somewhere just north of Inverness and heading south, coming this way. So, but I remember her talking about Lincolnshire being really dull and boring and stuff. Which is a subjective opinion, one I kind of share. I don't know, I just love the meditativeness of it all. It's great. But I think she, you know, when she came through here, I thought she started from around here, and I was trying to work out where exactly her start point is, and it turns out it's King's Lynn. So just, you know, about a couple of days that way, which we covered on the previous week of these episodes, went through it. That's her start point. But I think during COVID or at some point, there was some reason that she gave up doing Scotland, got quite far up to Scotland and then stopped and decided to come back and do it again, come back another time or something. And so she ended up going back to, because she started from King's Lynn in like 2010 or something, and went south, down through Norfolk and down to London and beyond. And then came all the way up to Scotland, got quite far up, and I think it might have been COVID or something. She sort of stopped and, you know, put it all on hold for a bit because because COVID was a problem for, well, her and me when I was doing mine as well. I mean, I was supposed to be somewhere around the south of Cornwall and Devon when COVID hit for me. And I did. Regular viewers all look back, and there's a single day trip around Basingstoke where I was living at the time, and that's the sole entry for my scheduled trip for that season. So, but yeah, I think she ended up going back to the start and then coming this way and going north for a bit. So I don't know. Looks like she's back in Scotland, coming south again. But yeah, so it's heartening to see that she's still at it, because I do occasionally check that blog and, you know, get useful intel on difficult bits. Of course, when she was doing it, there was no such thing as the King Charles III England Coast Path. She was just making it up based on local footpaths. You know, things like the South West Coast Path is useful, but it was there then. But I think she had a lot harder time with it with coastal access when she was coming through these sorts of areas. Had to do a lot of backtracking down farm lanes and trudging along the nearest main road. So, which it looks like what she's doing in Scotland. That was one of my main concerns. I mean, reading her reading her accounts of it all, it sort of puts me off doing Scotland as let's just carry on straight on through the border. It's because there isn't really a coast path in Scotland, as she's demonstrating. She's doing a lot of sort of like little tracks and go down to the peninsula to the little hut at the end and then come back to the main road and trudge along there again for a bit. She's got a lot more determination than I have, I think. Yes, recommend it, of course, as ever. Coastal Walker UK.co.uk, of course, where you can read her meticulous accounts of pretty much every piece of coast that I think she's missed. I don't know where she's missing now, really. Yeah, because like I say, she's sort of confused things a bit by stopping and going back to King's Lynn and going the other way up here for a bit, and so I'm not quite sure how much she's got left to do now. She has a book out and everything. I really must go around to buying it. She has a thing about cows. I mean, regular viewers will know that I'm not fond of dog walkers, and particularly dogs off the leash, bouncing around and barking like crazy. I don't like uncontrolled dogs. I'm all right with, well-trained dogs that are walking to heel and stuff, but no, she doesn't like cows at all and makes quite a thing of it in her sidebar. Apparently, I don't know if she's personally had bad experiences, but I guess she must have done. I don't know. You go wide around cows, they're generally not super aggressive, but they are big animals, yeah. Can pen you in or deliver a hefty kick, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, she's still at it. She's heartening to see. But yes, it must be her stomping grounds around here then, I suppose. King's Lynn's where she started. She started at King's Lynn and then went the opposite direction to me, onto Norfolk and then down to Suffolk. Me, I started in Minehead as part of the South West Coast Path, is what it was to begin with. That's where I'm trying to get to. Probably not via Scotland. But no, it's great to see she's still at it. I think she does it like I do, bursts of holidays every so often, rather than just, living on the trail. I think she's retired though, so she's probably got more available holiday time to do it with. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing this all year round. I wouldn't want to live on the trail. That would change a man drastically, I think. Right, good. I've got a bug on my camera. Get off. What are you? Some sort of fly thing? Yeah. Haven't seen any mosquitoes around, which is good. Not sure there's the malaria sort in this country generally, but I think there are lesser varieties of mosquito here and there in the wetlands and things. Ooh, someone on the trail ahead. Blimey, what are you doing out here? It's Monday, why aren't you at work? Alright, camera away. Speak again soon. Yeah, it's gone 12. I've seen a couple of people now. There's a pair of dog walkers heading away ahead of me in front. People on the bench over there with big long bird watching binoculars. I reckon we must be coming up to a car park. That's how it tends to go on the trail for me. You'll see no one for hours and there'll be a big cluster of people, usually not wearing sensible outdoors wear, dogs in tow. Usually means there's a car park nearby. I'm not expecting much though. I mean, pretty much apart from Boston and Skegness and Mablethorpe, there's not really anything in the way of quaint little pubs with, beaches nearby or ice cream kiosks this trip. This is very much the between places, and stuff that exists between other stuff. I haven't even seen any of those cool signs that say there's no cafe for 14 miles. I guess just understood at this point. Which is fine. I'm not here to just schmooze ice cream all the way around the coast. That was just a Cornwall thing. And a Devon thing. Quite a Hampshire thing too, and Dorset. Alright, just mostly the south coast. Basically beaches. Anywhere with a beach, anywhere with a massive salt marsh tends not to have much in the way of cafes and pubs and ice creams. And that's this massive salt marsh is kind of the theme for this week. Continues the other side of the haven as well. Once we go out of Boston tomorrow and start off up the coast further, it still carries on until pretty much till we reach Skegness. More people on a bench there, more people walking along. Yeah, obviously some major car park nearby. Getting on for lunchtime. I've only bought nuts. Mind you, Boston's so close, I might as well just power on through, to be honest. Just go for the water stops and not worry about food for now. Yeah. The slow pan. Yeah, onward. I think it's the Framlington Nature Reserve or Frampton Nature Reserve coming up. I imagine that won't make much difference to the path. Could be why we've got these people about though. Parking access and such. Dramatic cow is dramatic. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I can smell it from here. It's like burning plastic, I think. Definitely getting a smell of that. It's pretty much directly upwind from me. Is that 3 or 4 miles away? Hard to say. Yeah. There's quite a few fires around here. I don't know if it's just people are pretty accident prone or whether it's something to do with the agriculture. Because I thought stubble burning wasn't allowed anymore. I remember that a lot from my youth. Panicky fire brigades tearing around the Hampshire countryside. I yearn for the sea. Oh well, one day. Well, Wednesday in theory. I think we might be coming up on the turn. Not sure where the actual river is. Either we turn left along this bank and follow inland, or we have to go all the way up around those trees. But I don't know if those trees are today or tomorrow. Have to check the map, I guess. It always seems like a kind of failure, really. It's like cheating. I think we're turning the corner now. Just the other side of that bank with the trees on is the River Haven, and the far bank you can see over the top. I think I have to zigzag around here, but it does rather look like a lot of cows on the path. This could be a challenge. Try not to spook them. Yeah, you can see the signboard. It's been camped. It's been spawn camped by cows. Damn it. That's alright, so I'm threading my way past them, I suppose. It's going to be interesting, they got the right idea. Alright. May need both hands for this. Speak to you again soon, possibly. Oh, actually, I've seen a better plan. Just cut across and go up on the bank over there instead. Yeah, let the cows have their moment of victory. I mean, this for the long haul. Yeah, that's better. I mean, I would literally have to walk through that herd of laying down cows there. No, that's fine. If I take that brown bit of scramble up that bank, that should be off on top and away again. Cut the corner, but you know, I won't tell if you don't. They're all sat on the path, doing it deliberately. Nice cool breeze up there though, I suppose. Alright, yes, I'll just shimmy on round. Makes sense. And here we are, up and away. Yeah, I don't want to disturb anyone. Just passing through, don't mind me. And they do such great work at keeping the path clear as well. Don't have to deal with waist-high thorns and stuff. Keeping it all nice and trim. Doing good work. Well done, you. So yes, I think you can sort of see the River Haven. It's the far side of this latest bit of salt marsh, but I think we'll probably get quite close to it as we go on. So we're heading up and inland now, to the northwest. Should take us up to Boston town centre, and there's the bridge that I need, and there's a long stay car park right next to it where my car hopefully is. So, I don't know, somewhat over halfway today. I would say probably 4 or 5 miles from here rather than back there, but who knows who's right anymore. So just keep crashing on. Blimey, just had to stop and get some footage of this. It's astonishing, really incredible. Is that a hill? I didn't think they had them here. Maybe that's what Boston is, where it is. There's a nearby hill. I think it's mostly covered in trees, but yeah. And you can see the cathedral on the other side. Crikey. Things you take for granted. So, it's about 1 o'clock. Here we are on the Haven proper. It's just quite wide, actually, much wider than the Welland. Don't know how deep it is. I think that's low tide. Yeah, looking at the mud banks, I think that's probably low tide. So I guess you could get significant big boats up here, but I don't know that Boston's a major shipping port at all. Oh, we'll see when we get there. There'll bound to be some docks and wharves and things. So I think we just follow the river all the way into town now. Past that hill. See what that's all about. I have a feeling I suspect it might be like a landfill, but you never know, it might be natural. And then yes, tomorrow all the way along the far side and out. So look forward to river nonsense. This is the last nonsensical river for this section though. And I think after this we don't have to worry about another nonsense river until the Humber, which, you know, brings its own set of challenges. I think I will be required to both cycle and walk across the Humber Bridge, so, which I have checked does have side mounted footpaths and cycle paths, so you are allowed to and encouraged to do so, but it's going to be a bit terrifying. It's a very big bridge, that one. Normally you're in a car, you're sat quite low, you often can't see over the railing anyway, and even if you can, you're quite in the middle, you know, it's fine. I'll just worry about trying to cycle across there in a windy May week. We'll see, something to worry about a long way in the future. That might not even be May actually, I don't know. I haven't worked out the staging. I think it might be May, yeah. I'm not going to worry about it now. But yeah, it's a mildly terrifying prospect. Oh, well, as I always say, if you just keep walking and you'll find out, it's a landfill. It explains the unusual altitude, and those trees on there are actually bushes, you know, not quite as big as I was expecting from further away. So that's nearer than I thought, smaller than I thought as well, but still, it goes to show. Keep off. Yeah, that's because the whole thing probably weeps methane, I imagine. Start seeing these again. So a lot of these around London. Anyway, go around the outside, follow the river, the Haven. Yeah, 1:15, doing well. Don't know if it's a 2:30 finish maybe today. Who knows? Kind of lost track of time and space today. Get there when I get there, I suppose. Just keep walking and find out. Glad to be past that sewage works though. Not looking forward to going past it again tomorrow on the other bank. Aha. Still on target. Onward. What in the Blake 7 am I looking at here? That's proper dystopian, that is. I love it. Can't wait to get closer to that and find out what the hell it is. Alright, well, still on the Haven anyway, which frankly I've seen prettier rivers. This is hardly the Cam at Cambridge, is it? This is hardly Henley. Quite a functional river. So right, let's just get the water out of the flatlands into the sea. The most mundane manner imaginable. I assume that's low tide, or I mean, the mud's wet, so I'm assuming it gets covered at some point. Must be quite nice at high tide. I think I've come here at the wrong time again. Sometimes happens. Alright, let's get around this minor salt marsh. And then on. God, what's happened there? Some sort of artificial concrete shoring of the landfill there. This is not the best entrance to Boston, I don't think. It doesn't convey its historical qualities to its best light. I don't know, maybe it just shows a lack of imagination. I think with a bit of work you could get about 3,000 houses on there with highly desirable river views. All industrial on the other side as well. Yeah, that's cities for you. The last one I saw was King's Lynn, and that was broadly similar, coming up the river from the north side. Quite industrial. Got to put your industry somewhere, I suppose. Wow. I mean, Google has a map pin on there which just says biomass number 3 and has categorised it as a power station, so yeah, maybe some sort of biomass incinerator turbine thing. It looks like something I'd build in Satisfactory, only that one has much more handrails and walkways and access. Doesn't assume the engineers have got jetpacks. Brilliant. Oh, there's a sign here, maybe that will tell me some truth and some facts. Another sign. Boston landfill site. Oh, okay. No. Oh, that's interesting. So given that landfills sort of generate methane over time as the stuff inside rots, are they capping that off and burning it for power, do you think? Or is that biomass burning coming from other sources? Interesting. I bet everyone was fine with that, planning wise. We want to build a consumertron right on the edge of Boston. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah, fine, Philly boots. Actually, it does all look like waste ground anyway. So. Not sure anyone lives anywhere nearby here. We go over here, just generalised industrial estate. That sort of very large fenced off area with nothing but rubble inside it that seems to feature so prominently in most business parks I know of these days. It was obviously something highly productive here in the 1950s. It's now long gone, superseded, obsoleted, whatever. Just a variety of small scrap merchant dealers here now, I expect. Yeah. Right, so we're coming in on Boston. Obviously there's Barad Boston over there, obviously. It's pretty much where I'm aiming at. The river's here. I've got to follow the river. It sort of snakes around a bit. You can see the sort of pairs of pylons, because obviously if you're going to put cables across this river, it seems like they want very high clearance, presumably so big boats can come up and down here. Cargo ships of varying sizes. So yeah, it sort of snakes around, and then it's sort of a bit further in, it splits into 2 or 3 other rivers, and I need to follow various signs to cross over those bridges and stuff, and ultimately arrive at my car park, which can't be that far from here now. I mean, that cathedral is deceptive. It is really very tall, so it could be further away than it looks. But yeah, I think we're looking at another hour or so tops. What time's it now? Yeah, 1:30, 2:30 to 3 finish probably. Then we'll go have a mooch at the cathedral. And the rest of the afternoon's my own. Not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just go back to the hotel room and sit on my bed for 8 hours until bedtime, you know, until sleep. I go out, I don't know. Things don't really bring much going out clothes on these trips, you know. It's not really what I'm here for. I just stink my way into some burger restaurant or something in my hiking gear. Who knows? Really not prepared for it. Yeah, if I'd have known this was... I think this has been 12 miles. I'm not sure what that 5 was all about. I think it was either just straight out lying or was thinking of a different route than the actual England Coast Path. Right, on we go. Get through all these warehousing areas, and I think we'll end up in... Yeah, you can see some flats along the riverside on the other side, so I guess it gets to some sort of gentrified wharf type arrangement before too much longer. What's that all about? Barrier closed. Monitor VHF 12, yes. Not sure my phone's capable of VHF. So what's that? Some sort of tidal barrier? I guess if there's marinas and things upstream of here, then you'll not want them all just to all slabbing about on mud banks. Yeah, maybe they got like a lock or a tide barrier or something. I guess we'll see, because you know we're going upriver. Looks like I run out of road here though. This is a typical industrial river estuary. No, go away, go round. You're not allowed in our bit. So I imagine there's a coast path detour somewhere along here. Oh, one would hope so. Yes, this bit obviously belongs to someone. Oh, look at that sign, that's been twisted. Clearly that's not telling me to go out across the river on the mud, so I'd assume there's my alternate route. It's not down there, that just looks like fire exits from... Oh yeah, there's a fence there anyway. Guess I'm back through there then. I'm into trooping through a grim industrial estate then, which is never really my favourite environment. Footpath closed. All signs of footpath 14. Actually, there might be a little map in a waterproof thing pouch on the gate. Sometimes there is. Let's have a look. That would be helpful. This letter affects your property. Boston Barrier Scheme. Okay. Something big and... yeah, it's nothing to do with the footpath though. Some sort of compulsory planning thing? I don't know. Who owns that land? It's all abandoned, maybe. Anyway, not my problem. Right, I think, assuming someone's helpfully twisted this, that would have pointed back the way I came and down there, I suppose. So if I go down there, I'll find myself in an industrial estate, which aren't bad, you know, it's usually pavements. Find my way back upstream to the centre of town, I think. Alright, well, I was having such a nice time, such a lovely trip. Now, let's see what we can see, find out what goes on down here. No, so far so good. Footpath 14 in fact, yeah. Alright, let's just trudge on. Getting Gravesend vibes, you know. Let's hope I don't lose the stare down with an urban fox again, that was awkward. Grey building with noises coming out of it. Actually, something else quite nice coming out the other end there. I think it's frozen foods. Some sort of processing. There's all sorts of warning ammonia signs on the side of some of those tanks at the end there. No idea what's involved. I just eat frozen food. I'm not sure I even eat frozen food much myself. But yes. Probably subcontracts to an actual known brand of some sort. Right, looks like houses starting again. A few more grey boxes to pass, and look, this is kind of familiar. I think I wonder if I hit that junction with the bike earlier today and went off up that way instead. It's dear. Should it make that noise? Alright, let's keep trekking. This is not the best side of Boston, I imagine. Oh, the cathedral's over there. Yeah, I definitely need to hang a right at some point. Yeah, I thought this looked familiar. I cycled through here this morning and went up there. As you can see, all the National Cycle Route number 1 signs everywhere. This is the one that connects Inverness to, well, Aberdeen, Inverness, down to Dover, which we've seen the start of. And I spent a lot of time cycling along that because I think it seems coincidentally that most of my return journeys on the bike in the morning to set up have been on cycle route number 1, which appears to follow the coast quite closely, follow the east coast up the country. So yeah, you see that barrier bollard there, stops cars going through. Just shimmied on through there this morning, and then straight across and up there and beyond. I'm quite enjoying the cycling actually. It's a added component to this whole adventure that I hadn't really anticipated. I didn't realise I'd quite enjoy so much. So it's good. Alright, let's see where this goes. Well, I know where this goes. It goes back to the car park eventually. Probably following the same route. So back on the river again, and I think that might be the barrier. With the 2 green boxes either side on the top. It's down now, I guess, but I don't know. I guess that's to stop flooding coming the other way. It's more like the Thames tidal barrier. Because this is all very low-lying countryside, and you end up with a big tidal surge up the Haven, I guess. Hayes down some way to stop it. QR code there for a website to find out more, but ooh, this is just a side sluice. There we go, you might be able to scan that through your screens if you want to find out more, but I'm alright. I think I get the general idea. Yes, this is back on the river then after the detour around the industrial estate. We follow it all the way up to the car park now. Yeah, how quickly we got it. It's 2 o'clock just about. Just after. That's even an hour quicker than I was expecting. I really must have undermeasured this one then, yeah. Still, never mind. Take the easy day, yeah. Head that way towards the cathedral. Interesting, we've got a sort of rail swing bridge there. Bit of train track in the middle on the grey section. Doesn't look like it's swung in a very long time though. I don't think there's even any rail stuff the other side. Bit of industrial heritage. Some quite big trawler boats all moored up along the side of this wharf though. Look at the depth of it as well. I mean, is that the tidal range? That's insane. And where's the water park? I don't see it. Yeah, that's got about 10-foot range, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Interesting. I see some boats of medium and moderate size get up and down here. I don't know how the tidal barrier works though. Apparently it's closed at the moment. I looked like it was open to me, but maybe it was just under the water, just up to the water level. That's interesting. These rails do look shiny. Not completely rusted away. Don't know. No, that can't possibly be in use. Well, maybe. Anyway, follow this wharf along to the end there. And I think there's a right and then there's the car park. Let's see how we get to. Ah, here we are. I think that's the Haven still. It might be one of the tributary bits. So the cathedral's still about half a mile away, I think. Or maybe a mile. And there's my car, conspicuous on its own in a long stay car park. Still there. It's good. So yeah, I mean technically it's the end of my hiking for the day, but I'm going to drop the bag off in the car and then we'll go and have a wander over there, I think. Itching to see the cathedral up close, and you can come too, why not? Try not to look like too much of a muggable tourist, but you know, you've got to see these things. Town hall maybe? That's the cathedral. We'll go around the corner in a minute. Oh, here we are. Doesn't all fit in shot. Technically called St Botolph's Church, 16th century. It is 81 metres tall and called the Boston Stump apparently. I had to quick go on Wikipedia before talking to you. Felt I ought to know a few facts. Very impressive though. And you can go around inside. I mean typically these places don't like it if you're filming inside and phones and photos and stuff, but often they're generally happy to have you wander around and have a look, so we'll see. But yeah, look at that. I mean, if I were a proper TV guy, I'd be being given a guided tour of the place by now, but I'm not, so here we are. And there's the river. And parish churches and church houses and whatnot. It's quite old. But it is blasting out 2 unlimited at the moment. Open. I'll have a quick look around before I whip the camera out in there, but yeah, I'm going to have a look around inside and maybe you can too. Let's have a look on the river bank first. I mean, that is just super impressive. Oh, these are just graves. Thought it was an information plaque. encased lamps. I bet they light it up at night. Not too badly smogged up. Blimey, give me vertigo. Yeah, impressive. Don't even know if it's technically a cathedral. Certainly impressive enough, large enough. Well, anyway, that's me for today. I mean, they did have a thing where you could pay £5 and climb 145 feet up the, up the stairs to the lower, one of the lower levels of the tower, but I'm a bit knackered and that's fine. Yeah, I couldn't see any signs saying no photography, but I didn't want to cause a fuss, so a few glimpses of the inside there. Right, well that's me for the day then. I'm going to go and kick back and then, well, I'll have to go and get back to the car, go and get the bike, put the bike in the car, bring the car back to Skegness, and then I'm going to kick back and enjoy the rest of my afternoon. But yeah, join me again tomorrow for more northward adventures to Wrangell. So see you later.